Hello and welcome to this James the Bike Guy, where today we're taking a look at the Priority Bicycles Turi. This is a pretty unique commuter and almost cruiser style bike for us to look at together that has a CVT transmission that maybe you'd be most likely to expect to hear in a car commercial. So in this video, we're going to go into the features and designs of this $950 premium commuter bike, and we'll talk about what makes this one unique compared to all the others. To begin with checking out Priority, it's important to mention that Priority got its start as creating bikes that put a priority on just what you needed and the ability of the bike to run maintenance free for a long period of time. And while they've continued to get even swankier and swankier over time with titanium models that I'll have linked down in the description below to everything else under the moon, they have stayed true to that priority on reliability and low maintenance for their bikes. And even this one really is that case. Here we've got a no frills but functional aluminum frame. It comes factory with fenders that are nicely color matched and ready to go, and with a steel fork up front for durability and a little bit of vibration absorption, and a pretty traditional, raked handlebar that has a quill stem to it. So nothing too fancy here, but all functional, as well as adding in stuff like this triplicate mount on the top tube, which allows you to mount a bag or whatever you might want, coming factory with a water bottle holder on the bike, and some durable, flat resistant hybrid tires in a 700 by 35 millimeter size. Now, of course, the bike is going to be stopped using some hydraulic disc brakes. Here, we've got two piston calipers, both on the front and the rear. But where things really become interesting is in this rear end. Here is the NuVolo City rear hub. And this rear hub takes technology that you'd often expect in some of your more fuel efficient cars and places it with the bicycle. So for instance, this hub is where all of the shifting is going to happen on the bike. So you'll see there's no derailleur hanging off of the back, gears that would get dirty or get messy and require adjustment, as well as in the back, you'll see that this has both these bolts for the rear axle to be able to slide the axle forward and aft. That's to create tension on this belt. But the belt drive also does not require any maintenance as far as lubrication or stuff like that. This belt drive is a name brand Gates drive, which they're well known for putting belts on things like Harley Davidson as an OE manufacturer. And these belts, because you can't take them on or off using a quick link like a chain or something like that, require that the frame is able to split. So if we look at that frame, you can see right here, that split there with these two bolts, you can open that up, and that's what's going to allow you to take the belt on and off. But in the case here where, say you were to get a flat, all it is going to be these 15 millimeter axle nuts to drop the rear wheel out. Well, anyways, to speed up what we're talking about, this NuVolo hub has all the shifting inside. And in fact, instead of gears, it uses what's called a planetary gearbox to offer a CVT, or continually variable transmission. And that means the cable, which is being run against here, which does shift where the bike is as far as its CVT gear range, that city hub is going to give you 380% gear range. And in doing so, instead of on the handlebar like most bikes, you would have a thumb and a trigger finger to be able to click through gears. This is going to utilize just a twist shift without any indexing. So indexing means there's no, notches that it's going to go through. It's just forward is going to put you into a harder gear, and then as you pull back, that's going to put you into an easier gear. Now, 380% range is plenty of gear range. It's not quite as much as you would get on a traditional, say, 2-speed with 8 out back, but it's going to give you enough range for a commuter style bike like this one to get out, get around, and kind of enjoy it. Past that, a few more things that are neat about it. Of course, name brand Gates crank, always nice to see. And then out back here, you see we're going to have this twin leg kickstand. And what that allows for with that kickstand is that it's nice and easy to get going. Just kind of click it up and off you go. And when it comes time to come to a stop, just press down, push the bike back, and you'll see it locks right up into place. And this is nice and stable. It's not tilted over, and you can pretty much mount it up wherever you want. The other thing with mounting, it does have these mounts underneath for the seat stay, which allow you to install a cafe style lock. You do have mounts for racks to be able to go onto the bike. You've got this aluminum seat post and nice faux leather kind of look saddle. This is a place where honestly, it looks fairly fake in my opinion, but works okay. And those hydraulic 174 Hudson brakes all bring the bike together. And along with the rest of what's going on to make this Priority pretty focused, the other thing we should talk about is the position of the bike. Now, as you can see here, the bike is decidedly upright. And by that, I mean, when we kind of crouch down, we look at it, you'll see that the handlebars are much higher than the saddle. Of course, you could raise and lower that saddle as you see fit. This does come in multiple sizes, so you're able to adjust the full frame size of the bike. But in the front end, the head tube is taller than where the seat post is connecting. And then when we look at the position of the bike, our handlebars have this kind of M sweep to them. So this is a mustache style bar, which gives you a nice neutral position for your wrist as you kind of reach down to the bar. Clean cockpit aside from the two cables going to your shifter and the two brake cables. But this is obviously much higher than where the saddle is. And that means as you're riding, your handlebars are going to be more upright, putting you in a more comfortable position. The other thing that you can see is that seat post is on a bit of an angle, not super slack, but it's a little bit further back than where the pedals connect to the frame through the bottom bracket, which happens to be threaded, which is a nice durable style. But aside from that, that's going to mean that as you go up on the saddle, it's going to lengthen the bike a little bit and help gain some of that additional kind of comfort and upright position while you're out riding. So now that we've taken a look at this bike, I think it's time we find out what it weighs. The actual weight of the Priority Turi comes in and weighs 34.68 pounds. Thanks for joining me to check out the Priority Bicycles Turi City Bike. This has been an interesting one to look at, and it offers a really unique CVT style transmission. Those CVT transmissions really feel like they could be maybe the future for the bike world, making it a bit easier to shift, never having to worry about what gear you're in, and the fact that you're able to shift it even while stopped is pretty cool too. So go ahead and let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. While you're at it, be sure to hit subscribe and definitely browse the channel to see more videos like this to check out as well.